Guys, so great to meet you. How's it going?
Good.
Nice. Going
Good to
great.
meet you.
ATB, you have said over the past 20 years, I've received so many requests for collaborations, remakes, and cover versions of my song 9 p.m. Till I Come, but I passed on them. Why have you always said no? And what was it about this remake that you went, where I'm in?
After now over 20 years, I thought it's about time, And the other thing is, I always thought it's an anthem, or it's a classic. Don't touch it. And but after all these years, I thought about this melody is so strong. I think we need to send it to the new generation out there. That's what I thought. But I really don't want it to do it alone. I thought about it to recreate the track, not just to doing a cover version or a remix. I wanted to recreate the track with somebody together, with a singer, with another producer to get fresh blood into the track. That was very important for me. And I thought he's the perfect guy to match on this track. And so I finally got a contact with him. I got his telephone number through a coincidence. And so I called him and told him about the idea, and he was happy about the idea from the first minute. And one day later, we were sitting in the studio and started working. And later, then we got Alex together with the track. And I think that this match with Topic and A7S was the perfect match. And I think the result is amazing.
It really was. I'm glad you waited the 20 odd years for a remake. Topic, what was it about this song that you went, I'm the one who's going to take this on?
It's like I know this song for all my life, and when ATB reached out to me, I was really, really happy because it's just such a dance classic. And then, as Andre just said, we met in the studio, and like the next day we started working on it, and it was a very quick and fun process.
And then A7S, it is out, it is a hit. What is it like to see it advertised New York Times Square?
Yeah, it's one of the sickest experiences. It's like something you can tell your mother. It's like, look, Mom, I'm on Times Square. Yeah, it feels just absurd. Yeah.
Were you able to actually witness it? Like, given the year we've had, were you able to actually be there at Times Square to witness it, or did people just send you photos?
Yeah, sadly not. This year has been crazy. So like, yeah, all the success has kind of been watched through the phones and like through people's stories, and yeah, you've just seen numbers. So I'm really looking forward to see everything like live with my own eyes.
Yeah, because I mean, ATB, what has that been like for you? Because this collaboration has been really successful. But unlike in the 90s, when you were able to experience that success, what has it been like to sort of sit back and just watch it happen? Does it feel real?
It was not just in the 90s. I'm out since 20 years, and since the beginning of the last year. So touring is a really big part of my life, and it's really crazy. There's one little sweet thing that I had. I got a baby last year, and so I'm able to see the grow up, from him. That's very nice for me. But on the other side, I really miss to stand on a stage and to this is one part of my music life, to present the music we are doing. And so I really hope that we will have this back really soon. But yeah, we just can hope. That's the only thing we can have.
Yeah, because Topic, you guys have had success with Your Love, but Breaking Me, did you ever expect the success that has had? Like, that has been huge. It used to be when we'd say we've hit the million mark, it is amazing, but now we're talking billion streams. Like, does that number even compute?
Like, I remember when A7S and me, we were like, I don't think that any one of us thought that it could be as big as it got now, especially that it was so successful in UK and also in US. That was always like a dream come true for both of us.
So A7S, how do you celebrate? Because usually, not during a pandemic, you'd go out, you'd celebrate together. How do you celebrate these milestones?
Just get together with like the best of my friends and have a nice dinner together and drink a extra fine beer or so.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
ATB, you were saying, you know, before this year, you were constantly on the road. And like being a DJ, the DJ life seems so glamorous. But what are the realities of it?
You know, the reality is, of course, I like to be on a stage, but it's a lot of traveling, you know. But I don't want to complain because
You're
I like
allowed.
it, you know. I'm
You're allowed.
yeah, I miss sitting at the airport, and I miss the hotel so much right now. You know, I was complaining 2 years ago because I was traveling that often, especially when you go overseas, you have the long flights, 12 hours. But I always like it because I have my little iPad and I watch movies, you know, and so that's the normal travel thing. Sometimes they are annoying, but sometimes I like it because you meet so many different cultures, which is really important for getting inspired for your music. That's very important for me. And of course, seeing all these different crowds and at the festivals and in the clubs, it's amazing for a musician. And this is what we miss so much right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask all of you actually, and you answered it there for me, ATB. Topic, what do you miss? Do you remember what you were complaining about? Because I think that's what we're missing most. The things that we used to complain about are the things that surprisingly we miss. So what was the thing in 2019 when you went, I need a break from this? And in 2021, you're going, no, please give it back.
I mean, I would say maybe the jet lags you always get when you travel to, especially to US or to Australia. They were always very, very hard and very strong. And I could have a big jet lag finally again.
What about yourself, A7S? What are you missing? And you thought you'd never miss?
Oof. I mean, I actually miss when you've been on tour and you're like that day where you had a perfect gig and you're up staying a little bit too late at night, and then you have a flight to catch at like 6 a.m. in the morning. That feeling when you head to the airport, that's that's something I never thought I'd miss. That feeling.
Do you know what? It's so funny you say that because for this interview, I had to get up a little bit earlier than usual. And I went, oh my God, I'm tired. And then I went, oh my God, this is what I really miss, getting up at like really stupid o'clock, getting ready for interviews, like stuff that we took for granted before and used to complain about. Please bring it back.
Yeah, exactly.
ATB, what do you think? I mean, as you said, you've been in this industry for over 20 years, and over the 20 years, you've seen such changes. But I think the pandemic has brought about more changes to the music industry. What are some of the positive changes you hope that we take from this time?
I think one of these changes we're doing right now, you know, when it comes to promotion, I remember when I did interviews in the past, it was like or radio tours or something like that. You flew to this country, you know, you had a lot of travel to the stations, and so I think what we do right now is really good. But you can have so much promotion just sitting in your home, you know, that's or in your studio. That's a good thing. But on the other side, I don't know if it's really good because sometimes meeting the real people and being at the radio stations, it's, you know, I miss it again. I don't think that there is a really good thing that I can see through this pandemic, except that I'm able to be at home and see my little son grow up. That's a very good thing for me, because when if I would be on the road right now, I would miss so many things with him, and so I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I really find positive.
And it'd be great if we could sort of find a bit of a balance in 2021 between the personal and the
it's a good balance.
Yeah. Topic, this pandemic has been hard on all of us, but you've actually experienced the coronavirus. How are you doing right now?
Right now I'm doing good again. Like I was sick for maybe 2 weeks where I was really feeling it. And there was only like 3 days of it where I was feeling really bad, where I wasn't laying down in bed like all day. But then, like after a few days, like I felt better and I was just tired. And and right now I don't have any after effects or something, luckily.
Yeah. What was, this is a strange question to ask somebody, but like I've spoken to a couple of friends who've also had the coronavirus, and they said for them, the scariest part was actually hearing that they had it. What was it like for you when you found out that you actually had the virus?
I think it was not so frightening anymore, because I was feeling that I lost my smell and taste. So I was kind of like, or I probably have it. And then I got the test result like 2 or 3 days later, and I was already feeling bad, but not too bad. So I was kind of like, I wasn't too afraid of it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. At least you know what you had and you could deal with what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
A7S, the song is called Your Love. I want to know what is, it doesn't have to be very personal, but what is your love? What gets you going?
Oh, what gets me going? Like, you mean on a personal level?
Yeah, well, as personal as you want to get. You know?
Yeah, like I think it just, I just love amazing dinners with amazing views. That always, like Toby also laughs because he knows that I love just amazing views. So I would say that, like, just a really good dinner with a really good person and great talks, and yeah, a great view to look at.
Yeah, I miss that. Can't wait for that to come back.
Yeah.
Don't tell us.
Yeah. ATB, what about yourself?
I can agree with that. I love it as well. You know, I think even I'm married, and these evenings with a great dinner are always great to, you know, to have. It's always a stop of the time. This is what I really love. And on the other side, of course, it's my love to the music. So it's now I'm doing music professionally since over 25 years, and the last year I thought about it. How is it if I couldn't do music anymore? And I've noticed, and right in this moment, how important this is for me. This is a kind of a love, you know. This is a part of my life, and I never would miss it. And I hope so much that everything gets into normality, normal ways in the future again, so that we can have, you know, all our love, music, presenting, dinners, and all these normal things, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We're talking about really normal things that are not allowed anymore.
It's funny because it's actually made us appreciate those really small things that we used to take for granted.
Yeah, very small things. We talk about the dinner.
Yeah. Topic, what about yourself?
How much we miss it.
Oh, miss it big time. Topic, what about yourself? What's your great love?
Yeah, it's like what Andre and A7S already said. Like I also love dinners with with nice view, and like music is probably the biggest love of my life, like on a professional level. And but I also really love cars. Like, it sounds very German now, but
well, you do have some of the greatest cars.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I just like them, and I sometimes go on racetracks as well, and just do a little racing.
I know this is very hard to predict, you know, given what we're going through right now, but what are the hopes for 2021 and beyond, A7S?
My hopes is to, first of all, also meet my grandmother in person again and be able to hug and all this stuff. And then it's also to, like, I still have the hopes for doing some gigs with a live audience in the end of this year. So that's, to that.
ATB, yourself?
Yeah, I think it's the same, you know. Of course, being together with people, you know, not it, you know, when you see sometimes in the TV, you see pictures of people are together, and you are like, oh, they can't do that. I want to have it normal, that, you know, you have crowds, you have people together hugging each other. This I love. I miss this so much, and I just hope for the normal life again. And this is, I think, I speak for billions of people, that we just want to have the normality. You know, I want to have my parents back every day, and all these things. It's just a normal life.
Yeah. And Topic, tell me you're planning your first dream gig.
Oh, my first dream gig. I think it's like no matter where it is. It's just like if it's in front of a big crowd, or not even a big crowd. It's like just like if there would be real people there, and not only cars or cameras, like what we did the last 1.5 years. And yeah, I wouldn't care where it is. Just like have people there and have a good night or day.
Oh, who would have thought we would have missed getting sweaty with other people, strangers that we didn't know? But that's what I think we're really missing, and cannot wait for that to happen again. But in the meantime, thank you for putting out music that makes us feel like we're there until we actually are.
You're welcome. we try also in the future.
Yeah, guys, so lovely to meet you. Thank you for taking the time out to chat.
Thank you so much.